Bursa Malaysia saw its fourth quarter earnings came in fairly flat in a year that the Bursa admitted was challenging for capital markets globally. Net profit for the quarter came in at 50.2 million ringgit, 0.8% lower than the 50.6 million ringgit the previous year, while revenue was 8.8% lower at 123.7 million ringgit compared with 135.6 million last year. On a full year basis, net profit was 2.5% down at 193.6 billion ringgit, which was mirrored in revenue, which declined by 2.3% to 506.8 million ringgit compared to 518.5 million in FY15. Even with the dip, Bursa still proposed a final dividend of 17 cents per share. CEO Tajuddin Atan expects market volatility to persist in 2017. However, Bursa remains cautiously optimistic, with Atan saying that the capital markets growth agenda is supported by Malaysia's strong economic fundamentals, resilient banking system, and Bursa's efforts in regulation. Sime Darby could be heading for a ratings downgrade according to Moodys. This follows the conglomerate's plan to list its plantation and property businesses. Sime Darby currently has Baa1 rating for both its bonds and sukuk issues, indicating that the company is subject to moderate credit risk. Moody's Vice President Jacinta Poh said, while there is no clarity on how the plan will be implemented, the agency believes the listing will lead to reduced diversification, scale and cash flow, therefore a weaker credit profile. Anyhow, Moody's will assess the specifics once the details of Sime Darby's plans are available. Among others, it will focus on how the group will restructure existing debt and look at the cash flow and liquidity profiles as well as prospects after the listing. Tabung Haji is said to be allocating 2 billion ringgit to invest in real estate in the UK and Australia over the next 3 years. Group MD Johan Abdullah told Bernama that this investment strategy would ensure the Pilgrim Fund of recurring income. No final decision has been made yet, but the fund has identified a building which would be able to yield annual returns of 8%. As for its other plans for this year, Tabung Haji will also be paying attention to concessional projects. Special focus will be given to government projects in the infrastructure sector in order to strengthen the fund's acquisitions in the future. Axiata is extending Jamaludin Ibrahim's contract as Group MD, President and Group CEO for another 3 years from March this year. In a Bursa filing, the telco giant said Jamaludin has been leading the company since 2008 and together with its diversified management teams has managed to turn Axiata into a regional champion with businesses across 8 countries. Company chairman Azman Mokhtar added, Jamaludin will continue to lead the group at this crucial time to successfully oversee the turnaround of Celcom Axiata at home, as well as the execution of new strategy for XL Axiata in Indonesia and the merger of Robi and Airtel in Bangladesh. Azman adds that Jamaludin will continue with the transformation of the group into a digital champion and overcoming the disruptive forces affecting the telco industry globally. Axiata will also be appointing Vivek Sod as Group CFO starting April 3rd this year. The spat between Taipei-based LaCava International and Loop Holding over Chatime Malaysia is far from over, and LaCava, which owns the popular bubble tea brand, wants to make it clear that the mess was Loop's fault. In a statement, LaCava said Loop was in breach of the exclusive master franchise agreement. Among others, it claimed that Loop had been tardy when it came to paying royalty fees, with a substantial amount of money owed for a considerable period of time. Some amounts have even been outstanding for more than a year. LaCava also accused Loop of using raw materials that were not part of the approved recipe without its approval, and that it said is a serious violation of the agreement and might jeopardize the brand's image in the future.